seltzer.com. Get some 8% seltzer shipped right to your house. We got the peach, we got the watermelon, we got the pina colada, and the blue raspberry. We are currently live in over 300 stores in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and the Outer Banks in North Carolina. And if you're heading out to the Major League ballparks this summer, make sure to check us out in the Miami Marlins Stadium, as well as Tropicana Field, home to the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We are live inside all three stadiums. So if you're down in Florida this year, check us out. Go to hardafseltzer.com today and check your store locator or order them right to your house.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to the Monday morning. No, it's not. We're not doing that today. It's Tuesday, and we're bumping up the NFL this week. We got Gerard Michaels in the house from Slick and Thick. Welcome to the program.
I am very excited to be here.
Wait,
I love the Drinking Bros, man.
So.
Which one are you?
I am thick.
Okay.
I am thick.
You're not the slick one?
Not yet.
That's this is like Groot.
Yeah, I am thick. Yes, I am the thick one. I also have another show with the great Candace Horvath called Canceled Weekly, on which both Mick and I end up slick. So
Okay.
there's that. Yeah.
So both you guys are slick, and then what is she on that? Do you guys have a
she
nickname for
thick.
her?
Oh, she's thick.
Okay.
Yeah.
She'll be, I think, on the show tomorrow afternoon, actually, on Drinking Bros podcast. Looking forward to that.
Unless she sees this and cancels it.
Exactly. As always, though, we're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinking Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. I'm contemplating only betting the Monday and Thursday night games at this point. I'm now 12-3-1 on the season here. Only on the Thursday and Monday night games. Now, Sundays, I've been goddamn horrific. Is it because there's 8 backup quarterbacks that are currently starting in the NFL right now? Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the fuck's going on.
You believe it's 2023, and we're looking at a Sunday with Josh Dobbs, potentially Matt Barkley, and Carson Wentz starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
So Carson Wentz just got signed, an hour ago by the Rams because God, I almost said Bradford. I almost went all the way
Former
back to Sam
MVP.
Bradford. I know.
Carson Wentz.
I know. He's going in for Stafford's out. The backup's out. I think their other running back just tore his. I think they're on their 5th or 6th running back this year, their 4th quarterback this year. Whatever's going on in Los Angeles. Well, it's Los Angeles. I don't know.
They sold their soul. The Illuminati, they drank the golden juice, and they got their Super Bowl. So
They did.
Yeah. It was the Rose McGowan play.
I think McVay is probably out of there, right?
It's very obvious that he kind of wanted to leave after the Super Bowl, I feel like, and he's kind of just checked out.
Yeah, I think if Aaron Donald had retired, I think he would have followed him. But Aaron Donald signing that new deal was like, you can't leave now, right?
Yeah.
At least not for a couple of years.
You think it was a combo, though, at Olive Garden where they just sat down and they were like, hey, let's just take one more check, brother.
Actually,
Take one more check.
Aaron Donald's not allowed at Olive Garden.
Why? Because it wouldn't be endless?
Too
at
many
that point?
soups, too many salads.
Too many soups, too many salads. He's overdosed on soup a number of times.
Has he?
Look, my attorney said to say that's my opinion.
Okay.
But it happened.
Big breadstick guy.
Yeah.
Big breadstick guy.
Jay Glazer reported he's a big breadstick guy.
It's not just about how many he eats, it's about where he puts them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And is Aaron Donald, so
Straight
he
up
can
his
do what the
asshole.
fuck he wants.
Yeah,
Right?
he sure can.
No, he sounds with him.
Yeah.
You know do you know what sounding is? We need to save this for the Drinking Bros show.
No,
this
not
is
at
fucking
all.
Sports.
You can sound with a breadstick. You can get a full breadstick in your fucking pee hole.
Do you know what sounding is?
Aaron, if you're listening to this, I want you to know I had nothing to do with it.
No, Aaron, if you are listening to this, I'm telling you that your cock is so big that you could sound with a fucking breadstick. So, hey, dude, we're good. Do you know what it is, actually, Gerard?
Isn't that what they did in The Boys, where they blew the dude's dick up?
Bob, if you would want to show him a clip, you can do it real quick. Just so he's familiar with it before we hop into the other show.
Is that where
today.
they put the little pipe in the urethra? And
Yeah,
give
they
it a
sure
little...
do. Yeah,
But there's no like blowing it up. It's just jamming stuff in your dick hole.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not blowing anything up.
See,
man.
That's just a metal rod. Now, this is AI, but then there's the metal rod.
What is that about?
Well, you got to get through the commercial
What?
first before you get to the actual video.
HotChicas.com?
Yeah, you never heard of that?
It's Latinx.
It's Latinx, dude. It's a Latinx thing.
Yeah, here we go.
Boy, I'm gonna have a I'm going to look away.
Oh boy! Why are we doing this?
One.
Why are we doing this?
But
So that was numbing gel.
yeah, it's going
And
right in
now,
there.
steel rod. How do you stay hard though with the numbing gel, or is that lube? That's probably just lube. Huh?
That's a cock kebab, bro.
It sure is, dude. It sure is.
That's a fucking.
Now, do you think after this you shoot massive loads, or if it drips out the end?
I think it's just all a splatter painting, kind of like a Jackson Pollock.
Well,
type
if you
stitch.
edge all day though, you probably could hurt somebody.
Sure could.
You know what I
So
mean?
wait, what do we have here as far as like plot is concerned?
Oh, there's no
the
plot.
There's no plot.
No, well, the guy clearly has two casts on his legs. Are they doing like a misery thing? Is this
No,
what Kathy
I think
Bates
it's just
really
It might
was
be.
doing?
You think
Not
they're
at
gonna
all.
hobble his dick?
He's in a mummy outfit here. He's fully wrapped up.
Yeah.
This just seems more gonzo than anything
Yeah,
else.
it's more like who was left.
What
like
are
who was out
what's
there,
the race
Who wasn't
of these
busy?
folks here?
Chicks
those Latinx
and
are
Asians.
Asians.
Well, that's a white
Chicks and
dick.
It's two Asian dominatrixes, according to Dominifier. Mummified slave gets CBT sounding treatment by two Asian
Yeah,
dominatrix.
this sounds like something that originated in Japan when one of those guys finally broke after their 13th year of 20-hour work days.
Exactly.
I think that's Saw 11 actually.
It sure is. And again, Aaron
the first one
Donald,
I'm
if you're
gonna watch.
washing, I'm confident you can get a whole
Now, here's one from the
breadstick in
community.
there.
This guy just jammed his headphones into his wiener.
Well,
Oh, is it? Can he? What? Put the fucking other hands
the
in your
new
ears, you
Drake
stupid
album
bitch.
just
What do you-
came out. He wants his penis to listen to Drake.
You're not going to be able to hear
And that's
yourself
nice.
come.
Sure can't.
I would.
Sure can't.
Oh, there it goes, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I hope you put those on Facebook Marketplace afterwards. Those people that buy shit off Facebook Market, they deserve this.
Yeah. Yeah. We did it as a joke one time, Facebook Marketplace, and we sold these creepy dolls. Somebody picked them up in an hour. I've never seen anything like it.
It's remarkable.
It's unbelievable. I'm dead serious. Never seen anything like it. But this is the NFL show. We'll be doing Drinkin' Bros here in about an hour. You know the rules, kids. Go over last week's hits and misses. I'll ask yours because you guys do a sports show as well down there with the NFL picks. Look, this is a Sunday Bloody Sunday for me. Thursday night's game, Titans-Steelers had this one. Will Levis was starting. Looked pretty goddamn good against a good Steeler defense there. They just announced right before the show started that he is going to start this week. I'd imagine he starts the rest of the season.
Got it right. Yeah, I mean they've been trying to get rid of Ryan Tannehill for about half a decade. I feel like now they've been,
Well, Tannehill's probably going to get traded now. You would think, right?
Does he retire though? I think he's got to be 36.
Maybe, I don't know. I think look at the state of the NFL. Look at the quarterbacks who are starting this week.
Oh, you're right.
Tannehill can get a job.
He sure could. He sure could.
35.
Yeah. Oh, 35. Okay. So it was off by a year. But with this, look, we had the Titans plus the points, took the over as well, teased this all down. This all came out nice. And this is the only highlight for me other than last night's game. So buckle up because here's where the wheels came off for me. I know you're a big gambler as well. Look, when you lose the morning 8:30 a.m. game, and that is the first leg of your parlay, and all of your cards are shattered after this, I can't describe that feeling. It's almost like losing a relative or something that's so shocking that you're like, oh no, Aunt Becky died.
when you wake up to the parlay dead.
Dead on arrival.
Yeah.
That happened to me. Dolphins, Chiefs. Chiefs were playing well, high flying. Chiefs didn't get into Germany until super late, which is never a good thing. But then you realize that it's Pat Mahomes, and none of it matters after that.
Reality is his to bend.
But if I would
to
have
his
told you,
will.
guys, if I would have told you that Kelsey's going to have 14 yards in this game receiving, and the Chiefs beat the Dolphins, you would probably tell me to go fuck myself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Top receiver was Noah Gray. Don't know who that is.
He's from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, is he?
No, from.
How to
Since you
save
do
a
know after
life.
Grey's Anatomy.
I have no idea what the Grey. I think the Grey in Grey's Anatomy is actually a woman. So.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's a woman.
Great eyes
But
on that
The
Grey's
Grey,
Anatomy.
the Grey in fucking 50 Shades of Grey is a dude.
Okay.
I
So-
never know when to do the E or the A in Gray.
It's whenever you
it's-
feel like it.
There's no.
There's
no
no.
rhyme or
There's
reason.
no. Yeah.
There's-
It's,
It's
not
stupid.
E before A. and
Except
you're
after
gay
gay,
or-
yeah.
There's nothing like that. But yeah, look, there's no explanation for this. Mahomes had, I don't know, $175, a couple touchdowns. The running back on this team was 66 yards for the Chiefs. And this game wasn't really that fucking close. It was 21-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I went with the Chiefs simply because they had more white guys and it was Germany. So, you know.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Big fan of that, dude.
Yeah, but they're. I mean, you know, Who's the bigger pariah in Germany, the half-black kid or the Tongan kid, right?
Great question.
The Samoan.
Yeah.
I don't know that the Germans ever really cared about Samoans, but black people, after Jesse Owens wiped the fucking floor with them.
Sure.
In 1933, they probably have, or whatever fucking year it was.
Well, they took over North Africa for a few years, right? I mean,
yeah, but that was Erwin Rommel. The real Nazis had nothing to do with that shit.
That was Erwin
The
Rommel.
party, yeah.
Yeah.
The Desert Fox. Yeah.
Everything they're talking about had a big influence on this game, is what we're saying here, which is nice. Next up, Vikings versus Falcons. Fire Arthur Smith. Look, this is my team.
Oh, he shaved his mustache.
He
So
should
it's all no. You're fine.
Shave his whole fucking
You're
body.
fine because he shaved his mustache.
maybe the only team in the NFL worse than my Giants.
Oh, wow. No.
Maybe.
No. Nobody's worse than the Giants, friend.
Yeah.
And they're not getting better anytime soon. Daniel Jones, he's out for the
Danny
year.
Dimes is gone. Yeah, Danny Dimes. It's a wrap for old Danny.
Why did you guys even sign him?
I said this before they signed him to that contract extension, and then they did it anyways, and now it's been like.
Listen, it's what are you going to do? The guy won a playoff game. You don't jettison him his first playoff game after 10 years. You know, Dable, the guy who the shine has come off is really Brian Dable. It looks to me, man, like the Giants somehow are tipping their pitches. Really, but every play they run, it looks like the defense knows what's coming.
Yeah.
They haven't had an open receiver all year. You know, and Jones's whole problem has always been he locks on the targets. He doesn't throw guys open. He just waits for a guy to get open, and by the time he's open in the NFL, he's covered. Right. So there was just never really any anticipation. He's never really been in today's NFL where like they don't let the offensive line practice.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go off schedule, and he was one read, either get sacked or take off for 5 yards, and that's it's a recipe for disaster. You can't get hit by 275-pound men 100 times a year and come out
Not
of
if
it.
you're Daniel Jones.
Not if you're Daniel
Josh
Jones.
Allen can handle it.
May
Daniel
well
Jones
for
can't
now.
handle it. He's handled it for his entire career.
But
No major injuries.
But the Falcons' problem is
kiss of death.
with their coach is they were like, you know what? Let's draft a running back, number 8.
Yep.
Best. He could be the best running back in the NFL. You know what? Let's not play him this year.
I know. What's that about?
He's got a pitch count.
Yeah.
I don't
understand.
You got this guy for 4 years before
it.
he tries to charge you money that you are not going to pay.
Correct.
Right?
Run him
Well, and
into the fucking ground.
Money that you shouldn't pay, by the way. Well, I guess you can extend the rookie contract 1 year and get some value, probably at 12 to 15 mil a year.
Like Saquon. That's what they're doing this year with
but
Saquon.
because he got what, 11 or 12? 11?
Yeah.
I think. So by then, 4 years from now, he's probably going to get 13 to 15, you would think, right?
Sure, and that's fine. Do it.
For that 1 year, and that's the only year you got to deal with it.
If you're those guys, though, and I'm on the side of the player with this because I think the slotting is bullshit. You know, if you're going to be sitting here and tell me that I'm a running back, all right, because I line up inside the tackles, so I'm only allowed $10 million on a franchise tag. But if I was a slot receiver and I lined up outside the tackles, I get $18 million. Well, guess what? Yeah, I'll sign it, but line me up outside the tackles. Your boy's a slot receiver from now on. I'm not taking a hand. You want me to hand the ball off? Give me jet sweeps all fucking day. I don't understand why the NFL and the NFLPA have gone out of their way to destroy their product. You talked about it before, and look, yeah, I am a gambler, but I'm also a fan, man, and I played the game a little bit, and you cannot allow guys one padded practice a week and expect to put a product out there. You can't have. What are you talking about? That you only got 2 roster spots. If you're running a proper cap, you're going to have 2 roster spots for quarterbacks. You can't develop a quarterback.
No.
You can't carry somebody, develop them for 3 or 4 years. Again, my Giants, right? Jeff Hostetler was a backup on the Giants for 6 years. There's no way they could carry a guy for 6 years. Sims goes down. And it makes the game incompetent. If you watch DeVito play, it's an incompetent football game. If you watch Dobbs, even though it's exciting, like 3/4 of that game is unwatchable.
Yeah.
Burrow goes down, Cincinnati's unwatchable. They have to do something for the product on the field to have these guys somewhat competent, and that takes time. That takes investment into these players and positions so they can step in and play.
And it's also, I think, why we're seeing so many injuries over and over and over again.
Well, that and the turf, right?
Well, you got the turf, you got the Thursday night games, you got the games overseas, then you're coming back and playing
insane.
the Thursday night games. There's no bye weeks after coming back from overseas.
It's insanity.
All of it is insanity, and you're stretching a product too thin which is why you're seeing wins and losses like this. At least that's what I'm calling it, because I'm losing on Sundays now.
I mean, it's been a wild year so far, upset-wise.
Fuck.
Right?
It's just a bad product, guys. I got to be honest. I've been watching the NFL my whole life. It's just a bad product.
But the ratings are the highest they've ever been right now.
Yeah, but there's more humans than there've ever been, and they have more access to television than they've ever had. So the ratings per capita,
I think
also,
it's gambling.
if I got to listen to one fucking more tampon commercial, or like, who does the NFL think is watching the NFL?
Well, see, maybe it's reverse marketing. So, as a former marketer myself, we knew that women didn't necessarily align with our product being Black Rifle Coffee, right? Now, some did, but it's mostly dudes, right? Military dudes. But we also knew that 63% of all household purchases were made by women on behalf of their husbands.
Yeah, this is
so we marketed to them for that reason.
This is what Gillette thought, too.
Right. No, this worked for us very well. But in reverse, dudes aren't out buying tampons for their wife. They're not shopping for. They may buy whatever the fuck they tell them, but it's not like this conversation. I promise you, this conversation has never happened. Where a wife calls her husband who just went to the store. She's like, "Hey, can you pick me up some tampons? I want X, whatever this kind is." He goes, "You know what? Actually, on Sunday night, I saw an ad for this new brand, and I think that's the one for you.
That's the one, baby.
That's the one. So don't worry, that's never happened, nor will it. So I don't know who the fuck. I mean, it can't be more than 15 to 20% of the audience is women, right?
No way.
No.
Unless they're doing it because Taylor Swift has been on lately. But
the other thing too with tampons, it's very specific. Like, I'll get a picture from my wife, like, of the box.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant of her.
Don't fuck this up.
Clown
of
hole.
her bleeding. No,
of her clown hole.
No, she doesn't send me those. She doesn't send me the Red River fucking vag shot.
R.I.P. Bedlam, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
We'll
but
talk
if you
about
put
that tomorrow.
if you put a ruler up next to it, you can tell exactly which one she needs.
Exactly.
That's all. Just for
Exactly.
you ladies out there, I don't know if you knew that or not.
Dude, half the commercials I see anymore, if you were in marketing, man, I mean, and I made my bones getting into the entertainment industry and commercials. Half the commercials now are just like me checking a box of going, we'll never buy that.
Oh, yeah,
we'll
on purpose.
Never buy that.
I don't like being...
I will never go to Jared. Bud Light acted. Can you imagine coming out of a pandemic where it's named coronavirus and Corona survived, but Bud Light didn't?
I know.
That's how much you fucked up.
And during that, remember Corona sales were down, 20% or whatever? And they're like, what the fuck do we do? And they're like, hey, there's nothing you can do. You just got the wrong product in the wrong time.
Throw a lime in it, baby.
Yeah.
The average IQ in America is
4.
dangerously low.
Yeah, dude. It's near a retard level.
It's almost like hypoxia is setting in.
Which
we
is,
don't have enough oxygen.
What is
hypoxia, lack of oxygen in the brain, which is what Arthur Smith has for the Falcons.
But he's
And
got
we're
that.
back.
He's got that mustache off though. I feel like he's gonna make a comeback.
He's not. He's
more
fired.
aerodynamic today than he was yesterday.
She's
They
the
have
worst.
kept Dan Quinn, as it turns out.
Yes. And he's had a ton of success with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Boy runs the
fucking
defense. Stupid, dude.
I got to give a shout out to Tommy G of 4 Deep Sports. No free shout outs here. Spent about $10,000 in Desmond Ritter cards in the offseason.
Oh,
Desmond
God.
Ritter was about to blow up.
Yeah, he could have called me and asked if he was going to blow up.
Did he fucking buy a Desmond Ritter NFT as well
I think he might.
for $6 million?
NFTs. Remember when that was a thing 14 years ago?
I called them Beanie Babies when they first came out, and everybody was like, "No, it's a new technology." Well,
I was not sold on NFTs. We did Art Basel down in Miami where I'm at, and people were going nuts on the NFTs, and they're like, "But you own the image," and I'm like, "Okay." And I went on my phone and I just Googled the image and I took a screenshot. I'm like, "Oh, well, I own the image now."
Yeah, it's mine. I'm the captain.
They're like,
now.
"No, you don't understand." I'm like, "I don't understand."
No.
You're right. I do not understand.
I don't understand. I don't understand this next game, by the way. Browns Cardinals here, 27-0. Deshaun Watson felt like playing, so he actually came back and did it. Cardinals are now 1-8, and they're supposed to start Kyler Murray this weekend. Why?
because Call of Duty's coming out and they have to do something. Otherwise, they'll never see him again. Yeah. It comes out the same week. We talked about this yesterday. Is it even possible that we're not living in a simulation at this point?
No.
Like, what are the chances? Because you've never heard anything. And for a professional athlete, this is a very unique story. Like, some stuff just happens over and over. Some people are dum-dums. They fucking get caught with guns or drinking or girls or whatever the fuck it is. They just do dumb shit all the time, right? No one has ever gotten addicted to fucking video.
Oh, that's not true. There was a guy, he did a whole thing about how video games ruined his career on Deadspin of all places back in Keith Jackson, somehow a white guy tight end for the Broncos. I believe it was Keith Jackson.
Never heard of
Okay.
him.
But
He said video games ruined his life?
yeah, like he wasn't getting enough sleep for training camp. He was staying up till all hours of the night
I
playing
know
like
people
Red
like
Dead
that.
Redemption and shit like that.
They usually go and shoot up a school after that.
Is that right?
There are 60 million people worldwide addicted to video games.
No,
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. What I'm saying is, here's what I'm saying. It's never been put into a fucking professional athlete's contract before. And it's never had to.
Yeah.
Maybe Keith Jackson was having personal problems off the field, right, because of the video games.
if that's his name.
If indeed that is his real name.
Yeah, it sounds like you just made it up.
I think
that's a
Keith-
very famous
Somebody
white,
look it up.
Wasn't
that's a
Keith
very
Jackson
famous white announcer?
Wasn't
yeah.
Keith Jackson a linebacker
Big
for
back
the
out of
fucking...
Alabama?
I miss
No,
him.
he was
I
Keith
miss him.
Jackson.
I
He was
miss
the
him.
best announcer in
Yeah,
college
he was
football
phenomenal.
history.
We've got a real barn burner here today.
Yep.
At any rate,
Number 2 is Gus Johnson.
I don't like college. Yeah. I just, it's funny to me. What are the...
Well, you got Jamarcus Russell. Very famously, they put porn in his game tape. And that's back when they actually had to physically give DVDs, and he was supposed to take the DVD home. And they were like, "What'd you think of it?" He was like, "Nah, I love the game plan. Let's do it." They were like, "Yeah, that's all you got to say." He's like, "Yeah, I'm good, coach. Let's go." And then it might have been Lane Kiffin was like, "Dude, it was 45 minutes of porn."
Yep.
Like all you had to do was open it up, press play, and you would have been like, "Did these guys give me porn?" And you just thought the game plan was on there, so you literally didn't even watch it.
No,
So
he
like
didn't
that's very fan. And then Mike, what's the guy in I love him too, with Mike Daniel down in Miami.
Oh, McDaniel.
Oh,
yeah.
what a future in media that guy has. And he was talking about Johnny Manziel, and they were like, "So how much how much film did Johnny Manziel watch?" He was like, "Approximately 0."
0 minutes.
And then approximately 0 minutes. They were like, "Why didn't you get rid of him?" And he had a great line about it. He goes, "Let's just say that there was inconsistencies in the evaluation process of who wanted the pick and who didn't.
Yeah.
So we didn't know who we could talk to and who we couldn't."
It shocked the world when they took him number 1, and they're paying the price now. However, the Browns are 5-3. Kyler Murray, though,
I love that defense.
250.
Garrett, Ward.
Garrett's
they're
on
great.
pace for like 21 sacks.
He's a monster.
Their defense is great. They're
But it's-
5-3.
It's about to get tough, though. They go at Baltimore. They got the Steelers. They go at Denver, who's starting to turn it around a little bit. We'll see. But then they got the Rams. That's easy. But then the Jags. I don't know. They'll probably win 10 games.
What do you guys make of the Chargers?
I bet them last night. They're good every other week.
It's weird, right?
Every other week, they're good.
They've got
and this
all the
was week.
talent in the world. They've got 2 stud pass rushers. They got Derwin James.
I just said this before
They
the
got a
show
monster
started.
quarterback. They
Yeah.
got a monster all-purpose back. They got great receivers, but they
Austin
lose.
Eckler has scored 13 more touchdowns than the guy closest to him in the last 4 years
Monster.
in the league, and it's unbelievable.
They get the worst coach in the NFL, too.
yeah.
Staley, he's
Yeah, he's the
gone
worst.
after this year.
You think so?
Yes,
yeah.
he's the
What are they
worst
going like
fucking
a
coach of all
new
time.
coach every 18 months? They got Anthony Lynn. They got Staley. They got what are they at this point? Like, are they going to roll Schottenheimer's kid out there next?
Why
What's-
not? Why not find another
Harbaugh is
Shanahan?
Harbaugh coming out there because he's not staying in Michigan.
He's going to Chicago.
He should be. He's probably suspended here in what 20 minutes. What are we looking at? 45.
But I
minutes
think
now?
before the end of the week.
Yeah, I heard by Wednesday. That was what I heard. Next up was Rams Packers. Didn't bet this one. Don't care. Both teams are garbage.
What do you think of Jordan Love?
It's too early to tell because he's got nothing there.
Yeah.
I think it's good. Doesn't
I
have a
thi-
tight end.
yeah.
Doesn't have anything.
I think they need to trade Aaron Jones.
I like Aaron
Get some
Jones.
draft. I know, but
I like Aaron Jones, but he's getting older.
He's gonna by the time they're ready to play competitively, he's gonna be too.
Are
old
you
for
a
it.
no second contract for a running back guy? Is that like a hard
Yes.
fast
Yeah.
rule? No
Yes.
second.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I trade him, try to get a second rounder or something in the next draft. They can't trade him now, but in the offseason.
Which again, one of the other things they got to fix. The trade deadline should be after week 10.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is
that
insane.
it's
yeah.
like
Five is
you
too
don't-
early.
You don't even know if you're
It's insane.
like it should. The trade deadline should be by the time you know your team has got a real shot at the playoffs or not.
Week 10.
And it's way too early for that, right? I
Week
would say
8 is too
12.
early.
I would say week 12 to be honest.
Week
could be.
12, you don't want sell-offs. You don't want because you still have to put out a product. I think 10 is kind of like all right.
You're telling me Chicago is putting out a product.
Well,
No.
or,
I like
or the
Badgett.
Redskins.
I like Badgett. The Redskins just beat the Patriots.
They sure did. That's
not
next
saying-
up here.
anything.
Sam Howell looks pretty goddamn good over there.
No,
yes,
stop it.
325 again.
Oh,
Have you seen his numbers on the year?
I know his numbers, but I watch the games, and he's boy, oh boy.
They're 4-5 somehow.
They've got a really bad offensive line. We'll see.
They traded off their 2 best defenders.
Yes, but they still have
They won again.
Terry.
They won again, and they're 4-5 with Sam Howell and this dog shit team. I mean, it's
the team's not dog shit though. I mean, the offensive line is dog shit, but Scary Terry, Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson, Brian Robinson, they're all fucking legit.
If they end up healthy, and the thing is, look, Curtis Samuel's never been healthy there, but
He's a Jag anyway.
Yeah. Next up, Bears Saints. This game was awful. Look, sitting out Fields, you're clearly trying to tank for the first pick in the draft. This Bagent kid or Bagents or however the fuck you pronounce it.
Bajan.
Awful.
Bajan,
3 picks.
Dad's a massive arm wrestling.
If I hear that one more time, dude, I'm gonna fucking end
His
my
dad's a
life
star.
on this show.
Did you see that interview he did?
Oh my god.
That's
He's
the only thing.
great.
Whenever you bring up this guy's name, they're like, "Yeah, but his dad is," and it's like, "Cool, man." Unless his dad is suiting up on Sundays, the entire Bears organization can go fuck itself.
Hey, did you know Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce?
And I didn't know that. Is that new?
That's what I heard.
Is that breaking news
I heard
today?
that. I heard that.
But the Bears, look, I think they're tanking out the rest of the year. Trade Fields, keep him healthy. Don't let him get
Kmet's
behind
a
this.
beast, huh?
Who?
Cole Kmet.
Yeah, for
What a monster.
tight end.
Oh.
He's great, but he's the only person they have there. DJ Moore is okay as their one receiver, but they need a lot of fucking help here. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams will certainly do the trick. Trade Fields, get some more picks.
You 100% in on Caleb Williams as the
No. I don't
as
think
a
he'll
player,
be.
I am.
I don't think he'll be the first pick because I think Arizona's going to get the first pick probably, but and they're going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. if they do. But no, I'm not. I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be a good NFL quarterback.
Really?
I do.
No.
I do.
He's a clown. He's emotional. It's like, come on, man, be a fucking man. Stop crying in the goddamn stands.
He's 22 years old.
I don't give a shit. You know what I was doing when I was 22? Murdering people who wore laundry on their fucking heads. Grow the fuck up, dude.
And look at how well adjusted you are.
I know. You got the Cockosaurus Rex there. Next up was Seahawks. Ravens lost all of my money on this game. I had this teased up. My bookie's got a teaser of 13 points. I had this teased up to 19 points, and I lost an NFL game with 19 points.
Yeah, it's
it was 37-3.
That's a bad beat.
In this fucking game here. Ravens are 7-2.
If you ever meet Geno Smith, you should punch him in the face.
Look, I said this yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. He took the bag, and then he continued to be
then
Geno
he remembered
Smith.
he was Geno Smith.
Yes. And he was like, oh, shit, I'm still Geno Smith.
This
Cool.
37-3 is bad, but the numbers are actually worse than that.
Are they?
Yeah. So Ravens had 29 first downs. The Seahawks had 6.
Yep.
Great.
The Ravens were 6 for 13 on third down, which is really important. The Seahawks were 1 for 12. 1 for fucking 12.
They have endless talent on offense on this team. How is that possible for the Seahawks?
I don't know. You got DK Metcalf. He just
Tyler
doesn't-
Lockett,
but-
Kenneth
but
Walker.
They don't get Metcalf
Jackson
the
Smith
ball
and Jigma.
enough.
They don't get any of those
They don't
guys
give
the
him
ball
enough, man.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. Look, going west to east is always a problem, so maybe some of it is due to that. But Seattle's been up and down all year.
Yeah, dude. I'm
This
out on
was
Geno.
a severe beatdown.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it, LeVar Jackson had 11 fantasy points. They literally handed the ball off and scored 35 points like it was Dallas in 1994.
It was
Like,
it's a weird game, man. Like it's hard to because nobody lit it up. To where Lamar Jackson had 187 yards passing, no touchdowns, no
Well,
nothing.
Keaton Mitchell had 140 yards on 9 carries.
9 carries.
That'll play.
I don't know. I think there's something to these things are cyclical. And I think, we kind of saw it a little bit with what Tennessee was able to do with Derrick Henry. But if you get big backs and you go big on your offensive line and you start playing power football again against these teams that have 225-pound linebackers and they're running out nickel and dime defenses every week, you're going to be able to be very successful, and it's going to be sustainable success. Because over a 17-game season where they have no offseason really anymore, if you run out that old Pittsburgh Steeler Jerome Bettis offense where you run the ball on first down, run the ball on second down, and you're looking at 3rd and 2, and then you got play action, you're going to be very successful in the NFL. Unless you have a Patrick Mahomes, unless you have, a Josh Allen, right? Unless you have a top 5 guy. You look at what happened with the Jets.
Yep.
You lose Aaron Rodgers, and you are a high school offense. You have an unbelievable back. You have an unbelievable wide receiver. And you don't have a quarterback who can get them the ball, and you don't have an offensive line
And they
that
have
can
an
protect.
elite defense.
An elite. But if they
defense.
turn around and hand the ball to Breece Hall 30 times a game, like Dallas would do in 1994 with that defense, it's not going to be exciting for the people that like Madden. You're going to be looking at 17, 14 games, but the Jets would win. You know, the fact that they got Wilson dropping back 25 times, it's nuts.
Doesn't
It's
make any
insane.
sense. And Dalvin Cook, he's invisible. They're not using him
Not
this
using him.
year, but paying him $8 million.
But the
makes no
offensive
sense.
line going forward is much easier for them than pass protecting, right? Because if you miss a block on a run, your running back can help you out, right? And it's only one side or the other. You miss a block on a pass, you end your team season. So, I mean, the value proposition going forward in the NFL is, especially, like you were saying before, Dan, if you can do a back by committee where you get two backs back there and you just pound away, especially if you get big backs that can run against these small fronts that you're seeing, you're going to have a lot of success. And that's what I think you're seeing with the Ravens.
Or you can just draft a superstar quarterback like the next game here, Texans, Buccaneers, CJ Stroud, Jesus Christ.
D'Amico Ryans.
70, 5 touchdowns, man.
What about Baker?
Was he in this game?
21 for 32 touchdowns, 119 rating. That's as good as you're going to get in a game.
Wow, dude. And he's invisible. Nobody said one word about
Yeah,
this
because
guy all weekend.
fucking Stroud threw for 500 goddamn yards. Of course he's invisible.
Against a Todd Bowles secondary, too.
Yeah.
Even more impressive. Todd Bowles, say what you want about a head coach, but that dude's secondaries are always tough.
5 touchdowns, 470. This is the game. If Harbaugh gets suspended tomorrow, like we anticipate, this is why. You're going to go back and look at C.J. Stroud, the last 2 Ohio State teams, and be like, meh, did you really beat him with Garrett Wilson? Again, do you go back to that 2021 Ohio State team with C.J. Stroud? Because C.J. Stroud, the knock on him was he lost, the 2 Michigan games, right? There are only 2 in his career. You go back and look at the 2021 team. It was Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Yep.
Garrett Wilson,
Sure.
Jackson Smith and Jigma. Another guy named Chris Olave. You might have heard of him.
Sure.
That was his 4 receivers there in that Michigan game. And
Yeah,
you're like,
just goes to
"Man."
show you how bad he blew it, huh?
Oh, Harbaugh's going down. I can't fucking wait either. I'm really
You're not
excited
related
about
to
this.
Ryan Day, are you?
No.
positive?
Ryan Day's a terrible coach. He's a good OC, but as a head coach, he's terrible.
They know our signals.
They sure do. They
your
fucking
signals.
know. Everybody knows.
still got-
But if you don't know until afterwards, what the
Was
fuck?
Harbaugh running? Was Harbaugh running into the middle of the field, like telling people not to touch his shirt before he did the handshake?
No,
like
the guy, the Connor Stallions was
Altuve?
right next to him
like
for
the
every
Altuve?
single fucking play.
Yeah,
Every single play.
there's still the worst I've ever seen in my life was when Altuve hit that home run on a 3-2 slider from Aroldis Chapman, who throws 110 goddamn miles an hour.
Yep.
How are you sitting on slider? And then he hits it to the moon, and he's not excited. He's not doing cartwheels.
And
He
he
goes,
waves his
nobody
hands.
touch me.
Yep.
Nobody touch me.
No, he waves
Comes
his
out
hands.
with a chain shirt.
Yep.
That is remarkable. That's
It
remarkable.
was a bad tattoo.
Is that what it was?
That's what he said.
Is that really what he said?
what he said, yeah.
He said it was a bad tattoo?
Yep. He said he got a bad sholdder tattoo, and then the interviewer asked him to see it. And
I
he
didn't
goes,
know that.
I don't want to show it.
Is
to
that
you."
really the
Yeah.
truth? He said he had a bad tattoo.
said he got a bad
That's like
tattoo.
when Overeem got caught juicing because he put on 75 pounds of muscle. He was like, "Yeah, I ate horse meat."
Yep.
I thought it was worse than that. I thought it was him going, my wife wouldn't want me to be shirtless.
Oh, so that was the first excuse, and then later on down the road, it was the bad tattoo.
Well, he's
and then they
Latinx,
asked
so
to see
there's
the
a good
tattoo.
chance the tattoo was another human being's face, right?
Yeah, like a baby.
Latinx likes to do that.
Yeah, like baby face.
Or his grandfather.
Yeah,
right?
one of the two is Tio.
But it made it look like too much like Hitler or something, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, that's not my grandfather. That's Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
So my inside information on that is that they
Altuve has a Hitler tattoo.
Well, they were gonna like destroy. They were gonna like almost give Houston the death penalty, whatever that version of it was. But then over the course of investigating, they just were better at the cheating than
Yeah.
the Yankees
the other
And the Red Sox.
and the Red Sox
The other,
and
yeah.
Tampa.
Yeah.
And apparently the worst was the worst was the Toronto Blue Jays, and they had a guy that would stand in the left center field bleachers, and it would be like 2 guys wearing all white, like painters outfits. And if it was a fastball, they would stand up. And if you get a chance, look at Josh Donaldson's home and away splits for those 3 years where he was Joe fucking DiMaggio.
Yeah.
It's unreal. Look at Jose Bautista's home and away splits. It's unreal. real.
Yeah.
They are sub-average Major League Baseball players on the road, and they are fucking Willie Mays at home.
That's amazing.
It's unreal.
It's amazing. So is CJ Stroud. Next up, Colts, Panthers. We're going to skip this. There's no reason to talk about this. Bryce Young, look, man, 6 picks in, the last
Is Gardner
2 weeks?
Minshew a top 25 NFL
Sure
quarterback
is.
now?
He sure is. Thank
probably
you.
is, right?
I've said that forever on this show. I've said that forever.
If Gardner
He's a
Minshew's
winner.
on the Jets, are they 6-2, 6-3?
They are the Super Bowl champions this year.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Thank you.
I could not agree with you more.
Thank you, Delco. Garner fucking Minshew.
Oh,
Eagles didn't win the Super Bowl last year.
that's very true.
Sorry, they didn't have a quarterback. Next up, your Giants, man. We can skip this as well. 30-6 in this one. There's a guy named A. O'Donnell who started for Vegas. Forgive me, I don't
Aiden
know
O'Connell.
who that is.
Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to brief me on that? It sounds like a
you
Irish
should
tap
know-
dancer.
No, you should know who he is. I'm pretty sure he beat Ohio State at Purdue.
Yeah.
Oh, is he the Cancer Kid game?
Was that the Cancer Kid game?
No, but I mean,
Because the
Purdue's
Cancer Kid's the one that
kid
beat
can
Ohio
sling
State.
it.
That he didn't do
Purdue's-
anything.
Purdue's beaten you a couple times.
I've
don't
never
think since,
in
like,
my life seen a
2016.
team so obviously hate their coach and quarterback. Like, they so obviously hated not only Josh McDaniels, but Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, did you hear that story about so Pierce was trying to get the guys going. He's like, here's what the Patriots, blah, 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 culture, blah, blah, blah. And McDaniels comes to him, don't ever bring up the Patriots again.
So what
like,
he's-
dude, if you come from the Belichick coaching tree, that is a gift, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's not like, I'm going to go out and prove I can do it on my own. What kind of fucking retard are you? A smart man learns from his mistake. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others.
It was even worse than that. So the team has a meeting, and the players just lay into McDaniels.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were like, you got to treat us like men. Enough of this bullshit. The Patriot way shit. We ain't Patriots. We don't want to be Patriots. We signed to be Raiders. And they're like going off on him about how he micromanages them. You didn't even fucking play in the league. Blah, so
They broke him.
So then McDaniels, probably because he's hearing it from black guys, which is the worst part of this whole fucking story, goes to the black guy on his staff and was like, Antonio, defend us. And Pierce is like, listen, man, forget about everything that's happened. I was on a Giants team that started a year 0-2. We got the shit kicked out of us. We backed our way into the playoffs 9-7. Then we went up against the greatest team of all time, but we believed that we would win. We believed in each other. We believed in our coaches. We believed that he gives this rousing speech. And everybody's like, hell yeah, we're going to do that. We're the Raiders. We got enough talent in this room. And then McDaniels, after everybody's all pumped up, pulls him aside and goes, don't you fucking talk about the Patriots like that.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the end of that convo.
He pulls him aside and be like, why'd you have to throw the Patriots under the bus to make your point?
What do you care?
Yeah, what do you care?
So that got back to Mark Davis, and Mark Davis was like, you're the coach of the fucking Raiders, right?
Yeah.
Well, Mark Davis, it may have been hard to hear him because he was cutting his hair with a Flowbee at the time.
Sure was.
Remember the Flowbee? You just hooked it up to a fucking vacuum cleaner.
Works great. Works great. I still use it. I still use it, and
He's Lenny from Of Mice and Men.
Oh,
no
dude.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, but just imagine, man, like you guys have both been in team settings. Imagine somebody's like, yo, we can do this. We can do the hell yeah. We can beat. And then the coach is like, whoa. Hey. Let's not talk about fucking the other team like that.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Like these guys deserve our respect.
Pop up a pic here, this guy, Bob, because he looks like an extra in La Bamba.
Oh, boy.
Franchise quarterback right here.
Oh, boy.
Man, can we at
So
least, can we wait until he can grow a real fucking mustache?
Sure can't.
So
That's all in.
this is Shane Gillis if Twinkies never existed. Is that the deal here?
Probably.
Does Shane Gillis do the whole Kevin James thing, lose like 15 pounds and play Aiden O'Connell in the Aiden O'Connell story?
And also can't get into Notre Dame, so he has to go to Purdue.
That's
exactly.
it.
Yeah. And by the
Holy
way,
shit.
this guy beat the Giants 30-6 on Sunday. So
Well, the
if
Giants
you're,
suck, so-
the Giants are never getting better either, and they're stuck in Daniel Jones for
am
years.
so ashamed. I had you guys on our show, and you guys were gracious enough to honor us with your presence. And I sat here and I said the Giants were a dark horse Super Bowl contender.
And looking back on that, how wrong were you?
I got to be honest with you.
Was it like waking up and then 9/11 happened? You're like, holy shit, I can't believe this is going on.
It's like believing that our government had nothing to do with 9/11.
So a level of stupidity along with
Yeah,
the shame.
it's like
hope and stupidity.
100%. It's
Colliding.
like, of course, the 8th booster will work. What are you? Trust the
Yeah.
Giants.
Now, speaking of stupid and hopeless, Cowboys Eagles. The Cowboys are it's a great organization.
It is.
to bet.
Have you been there? Huh? Have you been to the stadium?
Jerry World?
No, but I have been to a couple of the bars outside the stadium.
Okay,
and they're fantastic.
Here's the thing: top to bottom, Dan and I have been to every arena in America at this point. That's the best, right? It's not really close.
No.
You really
It's the
think
best.
it's the best?
100%. And then
Really?
you can go there and have 18 different fan experiences in that stadium. I took some people a few weeks ago, and yeah, dude, they were blown away. Of like,
Depends what
what
you're looking
the
for.
fuck?
It's by far the
but,
best.
But,
Well, yeah,
but
I
that's
mean-
the beauty of it is if you're looking just to party. Go to the end zone suite, like you can fucking rage, and the game is just behind you, and you're like, "Wow, fuck!"
It's kind of soulless.
10 feet away. No, because there's other parts of it where you're going and you're right behind the fucking players.
Yeah.
You can smell them. You can high five your favorite players and do all this shit, and you feel like you're in the fucking
little
game.
underground parts. You can get one of the
Yes.
suites right there. You can get the seats right above it. But the suites down there, you can just watch through plexiglass or whatever. And then the players during halftime and before the game, they go in and out of that.
It's open air. It's open air. So
It's
like you're
fucking
there.
dope.
I imagine the best part about the stadium is that you can rent it out pretty much every January.
Oh yeah, because it's empty.
It's empty.
Yeah, there's no playoffs there's no home games there.
there. Yeah.
And then Dak Prescott blew this game again at the end. I forgot somebody yesterday after Monday Morning Recap were like, "Hey, dude, you forgot to mention the play where he went for 2 and then stepped out of bounds involuntarily." And I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck, that was completely unnecessary too."
Dak Prescott's the kind of guy.
That was a touchdown, though.
Which one?
The throw to the tight end was a touchdown.
Nah.
No,
down.
This is an Eagles
No.
fan. That's an
He was
Eagles
down.
fan right there.
he was down.
That's Delco.
I
nonsense
look.
over there.
I'll take hard out of this. He was down.
So
He was down.
Okay,
He missed
so-
it by about 6 inches.
All right, so if he drops the ball at contact, are they calling that a reception?
At contact? No.
When the guy contacts him,
Yep.
when his knee is down and he drops the ball, are they calling it a reception?
No.
Okay, so then why isn't his momentum allowed to carry him through to the ground to complete the catch?
Because his knee is down right there.
Yep, ball's not.
He hasn't
crossing
completed.
the ball
He hasn't
isn't-
completed the catch yet. You just said if he
Has a
drops the
catch.
ball,
Catch is right there. It's right
right
underneath
there.
his arm.
if he
He's tucked it.
drops this ball before he completes himself going down to the ground, are they going to call that a reception?
Well, then drop it. Bobble it.
Yeah, either way, but
Yeah, but
the ball's tucked
hey,
right there.
Fucking Johnny Cheesesteak. Answer the question. And I'm a Giant fan. I'm not fucking rooting for the
Yeah.
Eagles. If he loses control of the ball right now, is that a reception?
It's a stupid rule, but nobody knows what a catch is still.
Answer the question.
I'm telling you, nobody knows what
No,
a catch
but
is.
regardless of that,
On the streets
I am
of
saying no. I'm saying that this is no
wait.
fucking touchdown.
It's not
no
because
touchdown.
he catches the ball right there, right?
tucked,
and he's
not in.
The knee or elbow or whatever is on the ground is on the ground.
You
and the
can't have it both ways.
And another player is touching him. He's down right there,
Cannot
1 yard,
have it
or
both
half
ways,
yard
though.
short.
So if he
right?
drops the ball, it's not a reception. But because he doesn't drop the ball, he's down.
Well, the rule said, I think it's pretty clear. The rule says you have to make a football move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means you have to be on your feet. There's no football move to be made from your knees because you're down right there, right?
down.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that
Like if he was out of bounds right there, that would be out of bounds even if he caught it.
by the
right?
rules, because of Cowboy Des Bryant, you have to complete the catch through to the ground for it
Yeah.
to be considered a catch. He hasn't completed the catch through to the ground here,
Because his knee was down.
but he's not through to the ground.
He's on the ground right now.
If he drops the ball, if he lets go of the ball right here, they're not going to call
But he
that a
didn't,
reception.
But he caught the ball.
I understand.
And that's-
so there we have. Therein lies the rub.
Here's what doesn't matter.
It's a rub to you. To everybody else.
Yeah, it
Like,
doesn't.
We're all good
it doesn't
on this
matter
rule.
because that could have gone for a touchdown, and Dak still would have found a way. He could throw a complete game, no hitter, and he would lose the game 1-0.
There's no doubt about
You know what I
it.
mean?
Yeah,
He's a
there's no doubt
loser.
about it.
He and Josh Allen are the two biggest losers.
Tony Romo's up there.
No, that's what we said. He's the black Tony Romo for the fucking Cowboys. So.
He's not totally black, is he? I mean, he's more like
He's good enough.
He's like
It's good enough. Or if,
Latte
or if he
Romo?
walks into a white sorority house, you're like, oh, who's dating the black guy?
Quadroon,
he's
maybe?
definitely Netflix Tony Romo. He's
Yeah.
Disney Plus Tony Romo.
Yeah,
sure.
trans Tony Romo.
You ever see him
Yeah.
get his ass beat in Panama City?
Tromo.
Who's that?
Dak Prescott.
Really?
Oh, you never saw the footage?
I never saw the footage.
Oh boy, and nobody helped him, right?
You know,
nobody helped him.
champions.
None of his teammates helped him.
That's
too.
a bad sign.
I know.
That's a bad sign. Champions go to Panama City or college towns in Georgia and they beat ass. They beat cakes in fucking.
Or they go to bathrooms in Atlanta and
That's what I'm talking
sexually
about.
assault women.
It's kind of that's where I was going. I'm glad we were on the same page there. Like a winner.
Do you think we weren't?
Winners
at
don't
some
ask-
point? Like, you know the show you're on.
Winners don't ask permission. dude.
Yeah, the winners take what they want.
There you go.
We can't keep doing this.
Of what?
We've got to finish this show at some point.
I don't think we do, really.
All right, fuck it.
I mean, this
Let's
is
just live
Dak
here,
Prescott.
yes.
There he
I
is
brought
on the
all my guns,
grounds.
so.
There's little Dak Prescott there on the ground.
Where's Dak Prescott? That's
Is
Dak
this,
Prescott.
on the
is this
ground.
while he's in college or something?
It was. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I was in college.
what is this? Filmed on a potato?
World Star.
World Star Hip Hop, dude.
The phones they have at Mississippi State.
Ah, this is those Eli Manning phones.
Let's go. Let's go, brother.
I've never
Him
been to
getting
PC
stomped.
Beach.
He's
Never?
getting stomped on
Never
the
been.
ground.
Fucking every spring break for me. I'm from Georgia, though, so, I mean, this is our fucking... Oh, boy.
Is that him?
Yeah, keeps getting worse. Keeps getting worse, yeah.
That's my
Nobody
team.
helps him out.
Not very good.
That's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback.
Shit.
Next up, the other loser here, Josh Allen, blew another one. Bengals continue to be the Bengals. Hey, let's lose the first three and then win everything else for the rest of the year. We'll see them in the playoffs.
Getting healthy.
Chargers absolutely smacked the Jets last night. Finally got one right. Congratulations, Ross, on that one. But Sunday was awful.
Here's what to talk about this Jets game, right? The Chargers are up and down. We've talked ad nauseum about them. If Aaron Rodgers looks like he's going to come back in like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm
There's
not
no
kidding.
way
I'm not
2 or 3
kidding.
weeks.
No,
I know, but do you see him launching off his back foot and passing? That's what matters.
He
his
told
ability
somebody
to
on
do
the
that.
field last night he'd be back in a few weeks.
But if he comes back, look at what the offensive line is doing for. Like, I know Zach Wilson is holding the ball for 4 to 6 seconds, which is too long in the NFL. I got it. But the Jets' offensive line fucking stinks.
And the team loves Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
That's the other thing. Those guys, they love that dude. They revere that dude. That team, if he gets back on the field, that team will rally around that dude like fucking Anne of fucking, what was it?
Anne Frank?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's the one.
I think
And of
if-
Cleves.
I was thinking the French one who got burnt.
If he comes back from Achilles, by the way, is it better than Christ coming back the second time?
Have you ever seen a wonderful movie by Arnold Schwarzenegger called The Sixth Day?
No, I skipped that.
yeah,
I skipped
Yeah,
it.
the 6th day. So there's a scene where they clone humans. That's the idea. Of the
Joan of
movie,
Arc.
Right? Yeah,
That's who you were
Joan of
thinking
Arc
of,
is
yeah.
who I was thinking of. Yeah, he's Aaron of Arc. So there's a scene where the quarterback breaks his neck, but they just signed him to a huge contract, so they can't have him not fucking play.
Sure.
So they just murk him. And then they spin up a new quarterback, and this guy wakes up. He's like, "Whoa, that was a big hit, man! I thought my neck was hurt." They're like, "You're fine." I'm just wondering, predictive programming. Did they just take Aaron Rodgers out back, put one in him like the horse, that lost his Achilles?
I don't know.
on
He's still out there talking about vaccines and shit. So probably.
Well, you
not.
gotta. Well, look, I mean, we got to look at the chin. The giveaway for the Biden bot as the new chin. We got to see Aaron Rodgers' new chin and old chin side by side to
We'll
really
find
confirm
out.
this.
We'll find out. Before we get to this week's picks, we got some sponsors that put the show on the air. MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposits all the way up to $1,000 over there. Get off the couch and get into the action today with MyBookie.com. Plenty to gamble on this weekend. Gerard will be with us tomorrow on the college football show. I checked out that line here because college just came out. Penn State is getting 5 points against Michigan at noon. That's easily the game of the week. Thank God they put that on at fucking noon because of Fox. But tons of college to bet on, tons of NFL to bet on. UFC is this weekend. All of the things. Look, if you're not throwing a little something on in the background and you're really alive inside, you make that decision on your own. But do it at mybookie.com. Make sure to use that promo code Drinkin' Bros to double that first deposit to $1,000. If you want to go to any of these events, UFC, NFL, college football, rodeos, Taylor Swift, fucking Berlin, whoever is back right now. You can go to drinkinbrostickets.com, about $10 cheaper than StubHub. And we got a bunch of events that are coming up if you want to join us at some of this shit. So, yeah, dude, hop on down. Come on out with us. Go to drinkinbrostickets.com and join us. And then hardafseltzer.com. GoSped.com. D'Anthony will be live in what is it? A week from Thursday. God damn.
Yep.
We'll be in Wilmington, North Carolina. We're doing a kickoff for Hard AF Seltzer down there on the whole east side of North Carolina. Join us at brunches November 16th, 6800 Parker Farms Drive there in Mayfair Center in Wilmington, 5 to 9 p.m. November 16th. Free food, free Hard AF Seltzers, and 5 to 9 we will be there raging with you guys. In the meantime, if you're in Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, or Ohio, just hit that store locator on hardafseltzer.com and pop in that city and zip and go to the store nearest you so you can get rocked for these games. Let's start with this Thursday night game. You're going to need all the Hard AF Seltzer you can have to try to get through this. Man, I know I bet these games every single week. This is one, though, that I shouldn't touch, see, watch. We shouldn't do any of this thing. Panthers at Bears on a Thursday night. Is there this is it, right? This is the worst game in the history of the NFL?
I thought they were flexing Thursday games now. I thought this was the whole reason for flexing out.
That's what I was told. I reported this on this show, and I'm like, why aren't we flexing these out?
Oh, boy.
Panthers, 1-7 at the Bears, 2-7. You're looking at Bryce Young, who's got 7 picks on the year against
Tyler Badgett.
No, who's the dad? Let's just say the dad now.
Mr.
Nobody cares
Mr.
about
Badgett?
that kid. Yeah. This is Mr. Badgett's kid, the arm wrestling guy's dad here. This is Chicago -4.
Why are you still talking about this game?
We're
not betting on it. Move on.
We're not betting it. We're not betting it.
Move
We're
on.
not doing this.
I'm betting the under on it.
39.5.
Under. On a Thursday.
God damn it, dude. Next up, we got another one in fucking Germany again? God damn it. Are we just moving overseas?
Well, at least it's 2 of our best and brightest.
Yeah, Colts at the Patriots.
It's like we're having the Special Olympics in Germany this year.
This would have been a hell of a game in like 2006, though.
Sure would have. Manning versus Brady. Instead, we got Colts -2. This is all on Minshew's shoulders, obviously. So it's the pride of Minshew. Give me Colts -2. Colts by a field goal with Minshew.
It'd be a nice feather in Minshew's cap to retire Belichick in this game. Beat the brakes off him so bad internationally that Belichick finally has to be like, you know what? I'm old, man.
I'm just gonna
go
to
the fuck out of here.
the
I'm
Maltese
staying in
House.
Germany.
Yep.
We're going with the Fourth Reich. Or what? I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't
Whoa,
know.
whoa.
I don't know what Belichick's into.
Me neither.
He
Me
could be
neither.
a Nazi.
BDSM.
He seems like he enjoys structure.
Trains run on time, bud.
The trains run on time.
Sure do. Who you got in this one, Gerard?
I'm going with Indianapolis, man. There's something foul up in Beantown, man. That the quarterback hates the coaching staff. The coaching staff hates the quarterback. And apparently there's a rift forming between Belichick and Kraft, which that's odd.
You think it's over hand jobs?
I think it's probably over Brady.
Like technique?
But
or?
it could be over Florida massage parlors.
I think there's no easy way to tell the best coach of all time to fucking leave. And that's what it really is, where it's just like, hey, bro, you look bored, lifeless. The game has passed you by.
Doesn't
we
he
can't
have
win
a
with
lifetime
Matt Jones.
contract? He has a lifetime contract.
But he's got to. So it's one of the two of them who's got to blink first, and who's going to do it. And I think that's the rift.
Who you mean between him and Robert Kraft? Mm-hmm. Well, Robert Kraft, I don't know that he does blink.
I think he's going to die.
Did you see
how
he's
quick? 87 years old.
Bob, how long was he in that massage parlor?
I don't.
It wasn't
recall.
very long. It was like less than
9
15
minutes.
minutes.
I think it was 9 minutes. But
so you think he
about right.
blinks? He gets jacked off that fast at
But when
83
you-
years old. He doesn't blink.
when you walk into a Taco Bell, you know your order immediately. Like you're in and out.
That's
It's the
true,
same
but
way.
still,
you know
man.
your order.
It's not the same.
It is.
No.
You know your order. Greats. Her. Jugs. Jerk. Go.
I'm sure he
fucking
had a
playoff
go-to
game.
girl in there. This is not the first time he's been to
Fuck
that
no.
massage, right?
Fuck no.
Give me that crunch wrap supreme.
The only way she jacked him off successfully in 9 minutes is with some digits up his asshole. My
He was
opinion.
in mourning, all right? His wife had just died.
She sure did.
Yeah.
Well, God rest her
It's
soul.
what she would have wanted,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, he went down to the place next to Boomers and just said, "Great, I'll take what you got here and let's fucking move on with our lives."
Yeah.
It's an inside Austin joke.
One of
here.
my favorite things about Florida living down there is that there's a dentist office, a Chuck E. Cheese, a Rub and Tug. Like they're so ingrained in the communities down there. It's remarkable.
'Cause
Hey.
you drop your kids off at the birthday party,
Then you
go
drop
get jacked off,
some
and then you go to liquor
new
store.
kids off.
Yeah,
Potential
go.
kids.
potential. Next up, we got Texans at the Bengals. This is actually a funner game than it should be now that C.J. Stroud has 2,000 270 yards in the season.
It's not, though.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
he's very efficient. He's very good. The Bengals are in their game now, and the Texans suck on the road.
They do.
They've barely won one game on the road so far.
But
this
don't
year.
underestimate how much Ohio loves an Ohio State quarterback there. So I bet you there'll be a bunch of his fans in the stands there for this one.
I hate that Ohio State fans claim Burrow as their own.
No one does. I'm an Ohio State fan. I don't claim Burrow.
I just talked with a guy last night who claims Burrow, talking about if he didn't break his hand, he would have beat out Dwayne Haskins. Okay, shut up.
Yeah, he broke his hand and he was supposed to start, but that happens.
Do you know how
you move on? Every single person was a fucking first round NFL pick. So what's the knock there?
We don't talk enough about how that the second data dump from the Dwayne Haskins situation about how he was drugged.
Yeah, he was in bad.
By this woman who was stealing his shit.
Yeah.
And then he walked out onto the freeway because he was probably roofied or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and also,
I mean, that's fucking crazy.
Well, the truck driver settled. You know that, right?
Settle with whom?
The state of Dwayne Haskins.
it wasn't truck driver's fault. I know exactly where it happened, and
Did you do it?
no,
Were you driving?
I know guys who were with him that night though, and it's a very, very tragic story.
Yeah, it's fucked up,
very
man.
tragic.
Because like look, and maybe that's just the way it is because he was a young kid or whatever, and he had some discipline problems, if you want to call it that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But the story was he got fucking pissed drunk and got out of his car on the side of the freeway and got hit.
People have to understand what Miami, Fort Lauderdale, South Florida actually is what people think Vegas is. Like, what people think you're going to Vegas for, Miami actually is. Space, 11, Tootsies. This place, if you are a rich dude and you lack discipline or you make yourself available to what would be the best way to say this? If you're an easy mark, bro, they will eat you up down there. Eat you up.
Who's they? You're talking about the Jews again, right?
Yeah.
No. Well, I don't know who owns the places, but in this case, I'm probably talking about the Latinxes.
Well, I know who doesn't own it,
Dwayne
and that's
Haskins.
Palestine. So whose side are you on, Gerard?
Yeah, Gerard.
I'm on America's side.
You should be. Now, whose side are you on in this game? This is Bengals -7 here.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bengals, but I'm gonna be smart like you are, and I'm going to, since I can't use BetUS.com, I'm gonna have to use my bookie to
Obviously.
tease this thing to 3.5.
There
is
you
what
go.
I'm gonna do.
There you go. I'm just going to buy a half a point and go with the Bengals. They're on a roll here. And whenever it's 7 or 3, I buy a half a point to be safe. I think you're fine in this, although I do want to watch it. Which
What's the
if you
over-under
would've told
in
me,
that
48.5. If you would have told me, though, at the beginning of the season, are you amped about the Texans-Bengals, I would have told you to go fuck yourself. Now it's fun. I've got a couple of these guys in fantasy, and it's a very interesting team to watch there.
I want to circle back and make one prediction on air. Daboll has a bad year again next year. They give him one more year with the quarterback. Then Bill Belichick becomes the head coach of the New York Giants at the spry old age of, 79 or some shit.
Do you want him at 79?
I don't think I do, but I think that the one way that they can get him out in New England, the one thing that he really wants, the last thing he wants for his career to come is to come full circle. And coach
Well,
the
do you know
Giants.
he is available to trade?
Yes.
And that is a serious conversation.
It's
So
true.
There's
The
a
Giants-
rumor that they're going to trade for him in the offseason potentially. And I think it involves a first-round pick. It's only happened, I think, once in the NFL where they traded a coach.
Yeah. I think the Giants are going to offer Curtis Martin and a first-round pick. And we're going to get – well, they are talking about trying to trade for Vrabel, though. I don't know if you read that.
Yeah. Vrabel's great.
Does his neck come with the trade, or
Should.
Does
Should.
Bussin' with the boys have to then
yeah?
go
Yeah, they have to.
up to New England?
It's mandatory. Next up, we got Saints, Vikings. God damn it. Dobbs is going to start again this week.
There's
They
so
just
much bad
announced.
football in the NFL, bro.
Terrible, bro.
This is a bad
No,
product.
I don't bet this game
Fuck
at all.
no.
I don't bet this game at all. This is New Orleans -2.5. Fine.
You don't take 2.5 points, Derek Carr over Dobbs?
Who's better? And I'm being honest when I say that.
Carr.
Is he?
No.
Carr's a
he's
field
not.
goal
Is
better.
he?
For sure. For sure.
Man,
Who had more yards passing last week? Dobbs or Carr? If you weren't even to look.
No, well, I know Dobbs did, but it's
He didn't even know he didn't even know the cadence or anything.
it's Taysom Hill's team.
He had
okay?
to go over there to the center and say, "Hey, can you teach me the
Yeah.
signal call? Because
Yeah.
I don't know it. I just got here."
Yep.
And then he came in and beat Arthur Smith.
I'm taking Derek Carr 3 points. Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara. They come on.
Have fun. I'm going to strangle bait in my child's room when they're at soccer. Next up, we got Packers at the Steelers. This is Steelers -3 at home. D'Anthony, who you got?
Steelers -3.
Gerard.
I hate Kenny Pickett, but that defense is great.
Yeah.
This is one I would stay away from.
No, I'm all in on Steelers on this one.
Jordan Love's a turnover machine, man.
And they just don't have they just don't have the wide receivers. They'll stack the box and get this guy.
They just won 20-3 though.
It's going to be a one-score game. I can tell you that. It's always the Steelers, and they play exactly how you said they did every week. So, but I'm still taking the Steelers. You're fine on this. Drop it down to 2.5.
Mike Tomlin is really underrated.
One of the greatest coaches of all time. I say that every week. I say that every week.
He's done more with less. Yeah.
Sure has.
That's who I want to see. That's who I want to see go to a real organization, right?
Who? Tomlin?
Fucking Mike Tomlin. Put him in charge of one of these teams.
If I'm the Chicago Bears, I'm going all in to get a guy
that's
like
the
Tomlin.
style, yeah.
Yeah.
The Bears or the Chargers or somebody like
Yep.
that. You pick up Mike Tomlin and you're gonna fucking make it the playoffs every fucking year.
Pittsburgh is not letting him go for. You pay that guy whatever he's worth. With the small hands as quarterback, the shit that he's been able to do year after year.
Wild.
I mean, really go back and look at those lineups, dude. It's crazy. Next up, we got Titans at the Bengals. This is Titans.
Buccaneers.
I'm sorry, the Buccaneers. This is Tampa Bay -1.5. Levis is starting again in this game. D'Anthony, who you got?
I think the Titans are probably going to have a couple of weeks where they're adjusting. So people have seen Levis now, and they're going to. And look, the Buccaneers have some of the best linebackers in the fucking world. You know what I mean? It's going to be a tough game for the Titans, I think. And the one thing they do have on their side, aside from being 0-4 on road games so far this year, the one thing they actually do have on their side is that Derrick Henry wasn't great last week, which means after week 8, he's probably going to be great this week. So we'll see, right? I mean, 1.5 is probably where it should be.
Yep. Well, I'm just happy that a rookie quarterback like Will Levis has somebody like A.J. Brown to throw the ball to, to really take a lot of pressure off of him. And, something like, you just don't find top 5 wide receivers like A.J. Brown anywhere. It's a good thing for Titans fans that, they have that.
Yeah, they had to get rid of him, They do got Hopkins, though, and they got Levis. Look, I watched all of last week's game. I was impressed with Levis. I liked him. Look, I hate Baker Mayfield more than life itself. And, give me the Titans in this game. I'm fine with that. Next up, 49ers at the Jaguars. This is a great fucking game, actually, man. 5-3 Niners against the 6-2 Jaguars. This is San Francisco -3 on the road. D'Anthony, who you got? Tough one.
Is McCaffrey back?
He is. Niners have lost 3 straights.
I don't care about that. That's meaningless. I'll take the Niners -3.
Okay. Gerard, who you got?
Niners coming off a bye, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, coming off a bye. Trevor Lawrence, nobody's talking about it, but Trevor Lawrence has not played well this year. Trevor Lawrence is turning the ball over. He's going to be under duress. We got Chase Young. You got Bosa. You got the best linebacker in the NFL. Probably the best linebacker in the last 10 years, and no one knows his name. Brock Purdy just has to turn around and hand it off to a guy who can go sprint for 20. He can throw a quick slant to another guy to his right who can take it for 20. He can throw a pop screen to his left to a guy who can take it for 20. And then when he's on the 5-yard line, he can throw it to a 6'5" animal Viking who could bring it down. I love San Francisco, and this is a get healthy week for him.
Yep, I agree. I'm all in on San Francisco as well this week. I think Chase Young back with Bosa again. 2 homies out there. I think they'll tear some faces off. And, Lawrence does not look great this year, but look, they're winning. They're 6-2. Next up, we got Browns at the Ravens here. Wild that this is they're close in the division at this point. Browns are 5-3. Deshaun Watson's played 2 fucking games.
Browns defense is really good.
Very good.
Really good.
That's very, very good. This is Ravens -6. Anthony, who you got?
Ravens -6.
There you go.
Upset of the week right here. I'd tease it up if I could, but I think the Browns are going to win outright.
Really?
Yep.
Why is that?
I think the Browns are going to win outright because they have the guys in the front 7 that can match that RPO. They're made specifically. They're not going to expose Lamar Jackson to getting hit by Myles Garrett. So now they can only go to one other side of the offense for that RPO. Okay, and then you got Denzel Ward in the back for one of Lamar Jackson's 5 overthrows that he gives every game. As long as Deshaun Watson can just turn around and hand the ball off, they're going to be fine.
I think OBJ is going to get targeted 15 times in this game.
Could be. He had a good week last week.
Because he hates Cleveland. Is that the
Yes.
idea?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's his birthday, and he loves his birthday. He loves his little birthday. I'm with
Birthdays
you.
are a big thing in the black community.
They sure are.
What?
That's for another.
They are.
Yeah, they are. That's for another show.
They are or they're not, right?
They
They
are.
got the Jehovah's Witness section that they're not, and then you got everybody where it's like
Yeah,
they
it's a
make
big
songs
deal.
about it. Anthony,
Yeah, they sure do.
go shorty.
Yeah.
It's your
It's
Talking about
birthday.
50 Cent?
Yeah,
That's 50 Cent.
They love their fucking birthdays.
I think he's $1.75 with inflation now.
Yeah, sure is. I got Ravens -6 in this one. I've bet against the Ravens and been unsuccessful this year. I'm going to bet on the Ravens this weekend. Browns team to me is very hit and fucking miss. If Deshaun Watson is able to make it through this game, it would be a shock to me. But here we are. The NFL every Sunday has been a fucking shock.
Now
to
the
me.
game of the week.
Sure is. Sure is. Do we get a ham horn for this game, Delco, please?
Here's what happens this week. The Falcons get farther away
you.
from a good draft pick.
Thank you.
Oh,
This is Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons here, who have announced Heineke is going to start again this week against potentially Kyler Murray. As long as there's no setbacks, they said. This is Atlanta -1 on the road. Tickets are as low as $17 on drinkinbrostickets.com. For an NFL game, that is rare, friend. Who you got, D'Anthony?
I mean, the Falcons will win the game, unfortunately, for them. It's fucking dumb. Man.
$17.
$17 for
It's
tickets.
silly. It's silly that the Falcons will win this game,
Yeah,
but they will.
they will. They will. I got the Falcons as well. Gerard, who you got?
Kyler Murray plays. I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Athletics, where Kyler Murray will be either second base or center field for them in the next 2 years.
Do you think he'll actually go back to baseball at some point?
I do. It's far
How old
less,
is he right
far
now?
less demanding. There's no film in baseball.
No, I understand that.
Now they got iPads in the clubhouse,
But he's got
which
a
you can play
5-year deal.
games on.
Yeah.
He's like everybody else has got the iPad watching their last at bat. He's over there playing fucking.
He can write it into his he can write it into his contract that he can play video games in between the innings.
Yeah, why not?
Yes, for
DH.
sure.
How much screen time do I get?
Yeah,
I guess like 2 hours.
exactly.
2 hours of screen time.
Yeah.
And then you got to go 9-9.
I don't know why there aren't more two-sport athletes. That was so cool. That's one of the coolest things from the 90s, man.
Bo and
Dion.
Dion, yeah.
And don't forget Brian Jordan.
Yeah,
Everybody
Brian
always
Jordan.
forgets Brian Jordan.
Shit, dude. Cardinals and the Braves.
Hell yeah, bro. And Deion Sanders, man, dude, it was just so cool, man. It
was the best. Well, you had talent.
It was the best,
You had
man.
talent back
It was
then.
the best. And again, like the NFL, please, I'm begging you. It's over $400 a year for Red Zone now. And you got to get a YouTube Plus fucking package with it. For you to run out this rinky-dink XFL shit week after week, it's insanity. It's pure insanity.
But people are watching it. It's the same way Steve Harvey is a judge on primetime now on CBS. If people are watching it, they don't fucking
Who
care.
are these people?
Dude.
If you're not gambling and if you're not into fantasy sports, I really don't know anybody that watches the NFL anymore.
But I think everybody's gambling and everybody's in fantasy. That's just my guess.
Putting out bad product, man.
Next up, this is a decent game. Lions at the Chargers here. This is Detroit -1.5. I believe they're coming off a bye this week. D'Anthony, who you got?
Lions, 1.5.
There you go.
Good on the road. Better coach than the Chargers. Better team than the Chargers. Chargers obviously have the edge on defense, but that's the only place. No. As a matter of fact, I think as good as the Chargers secondary is pretty good. They have one of the best parts of a secondary that exists. But I feel like the Lions have made some pretty good moves defensively over the last couple of years. Their front seven's pretty good now. It's not great, but it's pretty fucking good. And they got the best, I guess the second best cornerback in the draft because Witherspoon's probably the best, right?
Yeah.
They're with the Seahawks. But, yeah, I mean, the Chargers are just incompetent. I don't know that it matters how much talent's on this team. The way they're coached and the way the organization is run, it reminds me of the fucking Mets. You know what I mean? It's just like you look at them on paper, you're like, damn, this team's going to be good. 7-9
Every single
fucking
year.
year.
Every single year. Gerard, who you got?
I like the Lions. I think that they're buying into the culture that they're trying to build there. They seem to like playing with each other, and I became a Jared Goff fan as soon as he gave Fitzmagic the ass to his face, to his eyes, looked him in his eyes and said, "I heard what you said, bitch."
Yep.
What about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Jared Goff. Okay."
I like it. Look, they're coming off a bye. Jared Goff is back in L.A. again. That was his home forever. I'm in. I'm in on Detroit this week.
They say you can never go home again, but if they schedule it, you can.
You can. Yeah. And if you lived here, Gerard, you would be home right now. You're welcome.
I feel like that. Hey, what do you guys think of Larsa Pippen marrying Michael Jordan's son?
I think her name's going to be Larissa Jordan soon.
Sure is, friend.
Yeah. And I hope.
Is she going to do Pippen Jordan? Is she going to keep his name and hyphenate it?
God. Awesome if that happens. Dude. Could you imagine? I'm all in on that if that happens. Next up. Oh, God.
Wow.
Sorry, man.
This is the highest spread I've ever seen.
I thought there was something wrong with my eyes. I'm not kidding. I've never seen an NFL spread this high this year. This is
I don't
Giants
think I've ever seen one that high.
at Cowboys. This is your beloved New York football Giants.
Yep.
Dallas. My God. So I'm reading this right. This is minus 16.5.
Yeah. So the highest ever was Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Broncos in 2013. It was 26.5. That's 2013. That's the Broncos with Peyton Manning, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
So who was on Jacksonville then?
Did they cover?
Oh, I don't know.
God, I think
There had to be some unbelievable spreads, Browns and Lions back in the day when they were going 1-15 every year.
I think the Jaguars covered.
Oh, my God. So the Broncos at the time were averaging 46 points
Do we
a
say
game.
Jaguars for a reason
Did
here?
you say 26.5?
Yeah, it went up to 28 by game day, actually.
Well, it was 35-19, so a 6-0 Broncos team beat an 0-6 Jaguar team.
There you go.
But not
They
by
covered,
fucking 28.
Yeah, but at least they covered. Gerard, we'll start with you. This is your team. You love them.
I do love them. And I love them even more in years like this because I turn into a short seller and I make more money betting against them.
Okay, great.
Do
you take this at minus 16.5?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'll probably take the under.
But do you take the Giants?
Yeah, and I take the under on top of it. The Giants haven't scored 20 points in, 8 of the 9 weeks?
Yeah, but the problem is the Cowboys can score 45.
Well, what's the spread?
16.5.
No, I mean, forgive me. What's the over-under?
38.5.
38.5?
Yes, dude.
Yeah, so you're talking about the Cowboys throw another 40 burger on them?
Easy that happens.
Well, here's the thing. If you take the spread, you take the over. Clearly, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, I'd probably take the spread and the over.
Okay. For the Cowboys.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. There's my tease, though. If I tease down to 3.5 before, there's my 3 that I took from earlier, and I just go 13.5, and I feel pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah. What about you, D'Anthony? Man, is that you can't be that hard with this fucking team.
It's not hard. I just don't give a shit.
It's not a trap game. You either got DeVito or Matt Barkley playing freaking quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a division rival. They want to smack up on the
yeah.
But do you think having a Barkley at both quarterback and running back form some kind of Voltron situation?
2 Barkleys.
Our Barkleys combined.
Yeah.
Might as well have Charles Barkley call the game.
Yeah, I mean,
Could he do worse?
I'm not.
No.
It's the NFL still. I understand that this team sucks, but I'm 16.5. No fucking way.
Here's where my money is. I go the over on this. I think Cowboys win 40-7. I don't fuck with a 16.5 either. But the over for sure because I think the Cowboys achieve it on their own. I don't know that the Giants score a point in this game.
Listen, Xavier McKinney bailed on the team last week. Bailed. Did not play hard. Talk shit about the coaches afterwards. Alabama, for whatever reason, seems like Alabama players, when shit gets tough, they shut it down. You're on your 3rd or 4th string quarterback. Okay? You have an entire roster. The right tackle's decided his season's over. The left tackle's playing on one hamstring. They just don't have the horses.
No.
This is a 16.5 spread easy. Coming off of a bad loss, I could see the Cowboys just absolutely boat racing.
Same here. Vince Papale is actually going to start for the Giants this week, so that's fine.
Joe Pisarcik.
Next up, we got the Redskins at the Seahawks. This is Seattle minus 6.5. And this team's been so fucking hit or miss for me this year. Who you got in this one, D'Anthony?
Seahawks 6.5.
Okay.
Howell's going to be throwing against a very good secondary, and he's going to get picked twice. probably one for a score.
I hope so. Look,
I like Howell. I like he's a good enough quarterback to win with a great defense, but they don't have it anymore. No. They never did, really. They didn't. Their secondary wasn't great, but yeah.
Gerard, who you got?
I'm going with Seahawks.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Seahawks as well, but this is going to fucking burn me. Every time I bet on these motherfuckers, they lose. So
Just another unbearable game to watch.
Zero desire.
Not watching it.
Zero. Me neither. I like this one.
To be honest, like I look at some of these stats for the Seahawks, and we know that Geno's having kind of a tumultuous year. Let's call it that. But DK Metcalf, who is a fucking animal,
monster.
If you get that ball anywhere near him,
they just don't target him.
He will catch it. He's been targeted 50 times this year and only has 28 receptions. And it's not because he's dropping passes, right? If you can't hit that fucking animal of a man, right?
What's his
That's
catch
a fucking
radius?
problem, dude.
What's
I mean,
his
Jesus
catch
Christ.
radius? Man? I'm out on Geno when he got caught on camera going, oh, my God, with Aaron Donald coming up the middle. Okay, buddy. All right.
I was out on Geno when he got drafted.
You didn't like him in West Virginia?
Nope.
I thought he was good at West Virginia. I was actually excited for Geno.
Any of this whole Geno Smith shit. I've hated him for years. And
but good for him, he got paid.
He got paid, I guess.
Paid.
Congratulations. Next up, God damn it, this is the Sunday night game of the week. I thought they were swapping this out too, and they're not doing that, huh? Jets again on primetime against the Raiders. Why?
Well,
Why?
it was going to be Rodgers versus Devontae Adams. That was the story.
All right.
But now it is nobody against nobody else.
No.
Aiden O'Connell versus Zach Wilson doesn't do it for you?
The Mexican who's an extra in training day versus
You gonna blast this fool or what?
You gonna blast this fool or what, Holmes? Against Zach Wilson.
He looks more like Farva.
Does look like Farva.
Is he a Latinx Farva? Damn, dude, that's rough.
Farva?
I mean, he's
Aiden
black.
O'Connell is Latinx.
Show the one that's down further. The Bob, go one more down.
He's
the high school photo. Nope. No. Go back. Oh, you almost had it, Bob. Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's big time honky.
This is what I'm talking about.
That
He's
is-
white.
Yes.
That's a 15-year-old Mexican
Come on, that's
mustache.
a 15-year-old Mexican dude who works at McDonald's.
Aiden O'Connell. He's a honky.
That is the most Irish ass name. on
Yeah,
earth.
that is.
It
really
is, but they're like that guy looks like a Mex. That's the guy who's just like, look, man, do you want guacamole or are you good with just
Guac's
the salsa,
extra,
sir?
actually.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and I'm on a budget.
Yeah. Do you want the sir? I got to charge it for the guacamole. But I can give
Avocado
you
has a
more
lot of
salsa.
fiber in it, by the way.
Sure does.
This was the picture of the cracker that the Nashville shooter had in her manifesto.
Oh yeah,
Not even close.
she was really confused
Yeah, she sure was.
about
Clearly.
everything.
Sure was. I'm confused about this game. This is Jets minus 1.5. Who you got in this one, D'Anthony?
Nah, man, I'm good.
Did you just Rosa Parks this dude?
Yeah.
Nah, dude, nah.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the front of this bus, bitch.
The autumn wind is a Raider. You got it. They're riding high off of last week. They're believing in each other.
They do play well at home.
They play well at home. They're clicking. Absolutely. You're gonna take the Raiders.
Who's playing quarterback for them?
Him. This.
I just wanted to remind you, since you were getting pretty far down the street there.
Yeah.
Sure
I'm like, hey, you sure you're going the right way?
O'Connell, baby. A good old Irishman. Absolutely.
I will take the
smoking
Jets.
stogies in the locker room.
I'll
They
take
got
the Jets against this guy.
They got spanked by the Lions, and the week before that by the Bears.
You guys have been talking shit about the Chargers and how terrible they are, and they just threw up basically a 30 burger on the Jets' vaunted defense.
I don't say that. I don't think the Chargers are terrible. I think they have a shit ton of talent, actually.
Yeah, it's the coach who's terrible.
It's the coach, man. And they're hit and miss every fucking week. Herbert's been missing a lot of deep balls of wide open guys. Like
Head coach-
Keenan Allen made an unbelievable catch last night. But
that was
the rest
insane.
of it. He looks off this year, but they're very, very good. Whereas I can't say that about the Raiders.
Head coach Antonio Pierce is undefeated. That's all I'm going to say.
1-0. So you're going Raiders.
We're going Raiders.
All right, have fun.
Any chance you have to bet against Zach Wilson in a pick'em? How do you not bet against Zach Wilson in a pick'em?
I go Jets defense against that guy. Pop him up on screen one more time. Yep. Jets defense against this guy.
What did Zach Wilson do against the Giants? What did Aiden O'Connell do against the Giants?
I can't. I don't watch any of those games. I don't watch any Giants game. I can't.
Zach Wilson needed a miracle a miracle to beat the Giants. Aiden O'Connell beat them by freaking 30.
You got to go see Sandra Bullock. So she's got a house in town here. Go down there and have her wrap your fucking eyes and bird box you from never watching Giants games again. I mean, it's the worst, dude. I will not do it the rest of the year.
I would love for her to do that, but she's too busy picking up big black kids on the side of the road and trying to,
blindside them. She's lost
just
her.
take all their future earnings for a cot.
Yeah. It's not a real person, though. You know that, right?
Oh.
Yeah. She's just an actress.
Why, next you're going to tell me Bryan Cranston doesn't fucking cook meth?
Well, that might be true. But the next one, Monday night game, gross. Not a real person here. This is our beloved quarterback for the Broncos. It's the man.
Oof.
The myth.
Oof.
The legends.
King Cringe himself.
Let him cook. Russell Wilson. How many patents and trademarks does he have for let him cook in different variations?
Mr. Unlimited.
I will say this. I'll remind you once again that Russell Wilson is not the problem on the Broncos.
Who is the problem?
Jerry Jeudy?
There's a lot of problems. He doesn't have any receiver. Jerry Jeudy's one of the biggest disappointments as a fucking NFL receiver I think I've seen in modern football history.
I'd like to see him
I
with a
really
quarterback.
thought he was going to be great, and he's nothing. Like he can't in basketball terms create his own shot at all, man.
Yeah.
And he can't stay on the fucking field.
He's like a 2000s Lions wide receiver pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, guys, Russell Wilson has 1,600 yards in the season, man.
Russell Wilson's the type of guy where your buddy keeps inviting him to the barbecue, so now you have to start asking your buddy, like, who's going to be there?
Yeah.
Russell
Is somebody
Wilson's
else
on
coming?
pace for 34 touchdowns and 9 interceptions this year. That is a great season for a quarterback and a 102 rating. Great season for a quarterback. Now he's not throwing the ball as much, right? Because who the fuck is he going to throw it to? Noah Fant?
He's got Cortland Sutton. He's got Noah Fant. He's got fucking. I'm still in on Jerry Jeudy. I just want to see him with a quarterback. His QBR is 46.3.
Yeah, and his rating is 102.
He's 21st in the NFL. 21st. Russell Wilson. He's in the bottom third of the NFL.
In Sean Payton's offense, which is very quarterback friendly.
Yeah.
Well, it's only quarterback friendly if you've got receivers who can catch the ball, right?
I like his receivers, man. I don't know. Either way, this is 7.5 at Buffalo. Who you got, D'Anthony?
It's like the tale of two losers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I struggle with
Which one
this
of
game.
these fucking absolute turds is going to fuck up?
Mm-hmm.
It's west to east. Broncos are going to Buffalo. Buffalo's got it. 7.5 is high.
It is.
I think I'll buy a point and go to 6.5.
I think that's all you can do here. What do you do, Gerard?
I don't know which Buffalo team shows up. One quarter to quarter, it's a different team. First quarter, it looks like this is the best team in the NFL.
Yep.
Second quarter, it's like, have these guys ever played together?
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I can't take 7.5. I can't take 2 scores on Buffalo. I just don't know who they are. They should beat them by 10 or more.
Right.
But I just don't. I could also see them being up by 14 with 8 minutes to go, and for some reason, instead of turning around and handing the ball off, they got Josh Allen throwing, across the field to the wrong side on an opposite hash out route that goes for a pick 6 the other way and blows the spread. So I wouldn't even bet the game.
Well, for me, I'm going to tease this up and go both ways. Tease up the under and tease down Buffalo and take Buffalo in that. It's Monday nights. I've been on a hot streak with it, so fuck it. I'm going to bet it. Tell everybody where they can find your show.
Check out Slick and Thick on YouTube. Check it out on Instagram. Check out Gerard DGAF and the great Mickey Gall. And also check out Canceled Weekly. You like both.
There you go. Gerard's going to be joining us here on Drinkin' Bros live on Patreon here in about 10 minutes. So flip on over there to Drinkin' Bros podcast on Patreon. In the meantime, go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. I'm going to keep saying it because you're not doing it. And I get it. I hate reviewing shit, too. Fuck, man, I still owe this guy who did a screen door for me, and he rocked, and I still am giving him a review. I get it, but it's literally just a 5-star, and you can walk away, and that's it. All right? If it was that easy, I'd fucking do it. We appreciate you joining us. Flip on over. You'll see more of Gerard here in 10 minutes on Drinkin' Bros podcast. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the NFL Pick'em Show, Week 10. Good night, everyone.